If you need help identifying the different styles and the different shapes of arrangements, then this tutorial is just perfect for you. So I'm just stopping for a quick cup of tea, and I thought it would be helpful to explain the different styles and the different shapes of arrangements that I've got in front of me. Now, if you're training to be a florist at college and you're studying level 2 and 3 and you're with City and Guilds, then you'll be learning from something called a design schema. If you're a flower arranger and you've been to local college, you've done evening classes, or you're part of a flower club, then you might not be familiar with the words that I'm going to use that come from that design schema. But my background is in floristry. I've been a floristry teacher for many years, and I often refer to designs under the floristry categorization rather than the general hobby-based flower arranging. So if there are words that I'm using that you don't understand, then ask me in the comment box to explain again, and I'll go through it in more detail. In general, we categorize flower arrangements into 2 different categories. So traditional, modern, or contemporary. Modern and contemporary often fall into the same category. So contemporary is often referred to as the moment. It's what's fashionable at the moment. And if you're in the wedding industry at the moment and you're doing table arrangements or wedding flowers, then we have a slightly more contemporary style, which has really been inspired by bygone eras. So often modern styles of arranging have come from previous generations and previous years, and they've been adapted and they've changed. But for me, what is contemporary or modern is this style of arranging here on my left. Modern and contemporary means that you have flowers grouped together. You have statement flowers rather than lots of small flowers like freesias or spray carnations. You have much bigger, bolder flowers like orchids or big rose heads. Could be gerbera, could be anthuriums. Strelitzia was the one I was trying to say. And more often than not, in a modern and contemporary design, the flower materials are grouped together for maximum emphasis and impact. So in a modern design, the roses are all grouped together, the orchids are together, whatever flower you use is grouped together. Whereas in a traditional arrangement, we would spread the colour out evenly on either side of an imaginary centre line. So what you'll see with this arrangement is that it definitely isn't symmetrical. I don't have a centre line with flowers matching on either side. I have groupings of material, I have unbalanced weight, I have material extended out onto the edge to create movement, and there is negative space within the arrangement, which is basically gaps and holes, which we don't tend to see in traditional work. So in a more modern design, we have flower material grouped together. The design is often asymmetric. It doesn't normally have a focal point, it normally has 2 focal points or more, and it doesn't have a centre point, so we don't start in the centre of our foam. More often than not, there's no outline shape, so we can't identify this as being a triangle or a rectangle or a circle. It's a far more freestyle or freeform arrangement, and it will be classed as informal because we don't have any of those matching patterns or an outline shape. If you're studying floristry at college, then this would be an asymmetrical design, and the stem placement, whether it's flower arranging or floristry, is radial. So we're aiming all our stems to the centre point as if it is growing from the middle of the floral foam. In contrast to that would be parallel stems, where they are placed in an upright position. So just to reiterate, we have a modern design, freeform, freestyle, it would be informal. We have radial stem placements, and the material is grouped and blocked together for maximum impact. Quite often, a modern design like this has very bright and vibrant colours. It has clashing textures and clashing colours, and the emphasis is on the individual flowers. So we can clearly identify all of the individual flowers. So we have an orchid. It's very obvious an orchid. I've styled the arrangement to show that orchid off to its best advantage, and I haven't covered it with lots of unnecessary material, ribbons, bows, pearls, accessories, and so on. So a good example for me, I did make it myself, but I think this is a good example. The container is very plain, it's not too fussy, and I think this is a good example of a modern or contemporary design. If you're training to be a florist and you're following the design schema, then this would be classed as a radial stem placement. It would be asymmetric, and it would come under the form linear category because the emphasis in this arrangement is on the forms and the lines rather than the overall shape. So floristry and flower arranging have slightly different terminology and are looked at in different ways. Floristry is usually a job and a career where you earn money and the business is successful and generates an income. Flower arranging is more often than not something that you do for a hobby. You might just enjoy growing and arranging flowers, although you might have a little bit of a sideline where you make wedding flowers as well. But generally a florist is somebody that works in a shop, produces, not necessarily in a shop, they might have a studio, they might be home-based, but they provide a floristry service to customers who pay for that service. So there are generally 3 different types of stem placement. Radial is probably the most popular, and next I'm going to look at parallel. But there is also diagonal, which I don't do a great deal of, but I look at investigating that in a floral design soon. Now, if you don't like gaps and negative space in a floral design, then you're not going to like this one. And this is coming to the YouTube channel very soon. But you'll notice here that there are gaps in between the flowers and the stems are clearly visible. And again, this style isn't for everybody. If you're a traditional arranger, you would like to hide all those stems with some greenery or some more flowers. But this is a more modern and contemporary style again, which has lots of negative space. So negative space is literally a gap, and it gives chance for the eye to rest and appreciate all the individual flowers. If we looked at this in silhouette form, if I placed it up against a wall and had a light behind it and all you could see were the shapes of the flowers, you would clearly be able to identify the 3 flower groups, Alstroemeria, Gerbera and a lily, and you'd also be able to identify that moving branch through the arrangement. So as a florist, I would refer to this as a form linear design. The emphasis, like that first arrangement, is on the individual forms, the flower shapes, and the lines within the design itself. And we have 2 different types of lines in here. We have that straight up, very solid vertical line, and then we have a softer meandering line across the front, which makes your eye travel from left to right. Stem placement in this one is different to the previous arrangement because I've arranged in a parallel style. So my stems have been positioned into the foam in that upright manner, just like soldiers standing in a line, or street lamps or fence posts. They're all equidistant and standing upright. They're not radiated into a middle point, which often gives you a more traditional style. So flower arrangers will know parallel as one particular style of arranging that we learnt in the 80s, which is quite often still referred to as modern. And there are now far more modern versions of a parallel arrangement than that style we learnt in the 80s when it first came to the UK after being inspired by European floral design. So this design would be asymmetric because it's not balanced on either side. It has parallel stem placements. Admittedly, the meandering line of the contorted hazel isn't parallel, but as long as 75% or more of the stems are parallel, then it is classed as a parallel arrangement. So just to recap, because I've forgotten what I said, it is an asymmetric design. It will be classed as form linear. Its stems are parallel. And if you're training to be a florist in college, then it would come under the form linear category. A flower arranger would probably know this more as freeform or freestyle. But the beauty of a more modern style of arranging is that you use much less material. You have negative space, or what you might think of as gaps in the floral design, and you appreciate the individual flower rather than the overall shape of the design. This design also uses the 3/5/8 rule rather than the 1/3 2/3 rule, and we'll look at that in the final arrangement. And what I've done here is I've arranged the flowers so that the gap between them represents an internal triangle. Now this is quite hard to see when you don't know what to look for, but I've used a ratio of 3, 5 and 8. So if you think of 3 as being the smallest measurement or the smallest gap between each group of flowers, the smallest group would be this section here. So the gap between my gerbera placement and my lily placement, this gap here represents the number 3. It's the smaller proportion or the smaller ratio in my design. Then if we could draw a line from this group to the group at the top, that is slightly larger. So that we refer to as a 5. It's a 5 ratio or a 5 proportion. And I often get asked, what does a ratio or a proportion mean? And it is basically 3 parts. So it could be 3 parts that are a centimetre. It could be 3 parts that are an inch. It could be 3 parts that are a metre. It really depends on how big the arrangement goes. But if for a beginner you think about small, medium and then large, it might help you understand floral design. So the gap between these two in this more modern style of arrangement is a 3. The gap between here and here is a 5. And then the bigger gap, which comes right the way from that top flower down to the bottom, is represented as the number 8. 8 parts or an 8 ratio. And wherever I look in this arrangement, there are these internal triangles that create interest and balance and make my eye travel through the arrangement. So to recap, this arrangement is asymmetrical. It has parallel stem placements, at least the majority are parallel. It would be classed as form linear if you're a florist, or maybe more of free form or freestyle if you're flower arranging. And hopefully that's given you a little bit more of a guidance. I know that the ones of you that are really traditional arrangers and like your triangles, your crescents and your L shapes, you're not going to appreciate the gaps in that design there. So now we're going to move on to a topiary tree, which I would probably describe as more of a novelty arrangement. It's definitely inspired from topiary trees that you would see in the garden, and that would be probably the Tudor era. So again, it's inspired by bygone times and bygone eras, although many people would refer to this as fairly modern because it might be a design they've not seen before and they might find it quite interesting and quite novelty. But for me, it's more of a vintage style arrangement with a bit of a modern twist. So if we think about the top section and the placement of those alstroemeria, I've created parallel placements, almost like soldiers again standing in a line. It could be posts concreted into the ground, but that top section is parallel because I wanted that rigid effect that mimics the stem of a topiary tree. And if you're not sure what a topiary tree is, I'll bring a picture in on my side here. So I've aimed this, I've copied this, it's like a novelty design. I've copied it, I've been inspired by grand topiary trees that you would see outside your front door, or you might see them at the garden centre, or they might be in a stately home near you. But in complete contrast, if we think about the bottom of the design, that's radial. Our stems are radiating out from the centre point. So in this instance, I've mixed the two styles of arranging together. I've got parallel in the top and radial at the bottom. And if we took this top section out, essentially we have an all-round posy there at the bottom. I could take this out in the middle and put a big candle there. I could put an Easter rabbit. I could put a lantern or something there as a decoration. But essentially the bottom part is a much more traditional style of arranging. And whatever position I look at this arrangement from, I can see the same flower. So if it's in the center of a table, the all-round style can be viewed from all sides. It would also look fantastic on a coffee table, and they work really well as two designs in a matching pair on either side of the mantelpiece or the altar, or outside the church for a wedding. So if I categorize it into that floristry category, it would be classed as a symmetrical design, because if we split it down the middle, it's the same on the left and the right. And what I'm looking at is the outline shape. I'm not looking at the placement of the flowers necessarily. It can still be symmetrical if the outline shape is matching on either side of a center line. So this would be symmetrical. I would describe this as formal because we have a set pattern, we have a structure. It certainly isn't free form and loose. I would probably refer to this as more traditional than modern, but I think if you're new to arranging, you might think this is quite modern. and a technique that you haven't done before. It does have a characteristic outline shape of almost like a lollipop or a tree. So therefore it would come under the decorative category if you're studying floristry, and it would definitely be symmetrical. And here I've used the 3/5/8 rule again. So I haven't done that 1/3, 2/3 rule. I've got a design that's split into sections. And realistically, I have 4 sections here. I have the flowers at the top, then I have the stems because they are clearly visible, then I have my massed arrangement here, and then I have the container. We couldn't refer to that as 1/3 or 2/3 because I have more than 2 placements. And all of the 4 arrangements that I'm talking about in this tips and tricks video are seen as full tutorials on a Sunday. You might not have seen them all yet, but they're definitely coming. And I'm going to finish with a design that is definitely very traditional and follows a lot of the rules and the guidelines that most traditional flower arrangers and florists aspire to do. So if we start at the top, this is definitely a formal arrangement. It has a pattern, it has a set formula for the flower positions, and it has a really clear triangular outline shape. So we have a point here at the top, our sides come down, and then we come across at the bottom. So it is a really clear geometric shape. It's very traditional. The style could be made larger for a pedestal. It could be made smaller if you're using a smaller container. But it is a traditional, formal arrangement that definitely wouldn't be referred to as free-form, freestyle or modern. So if we think about this one, it has a clear triangular outline shape. It has a focal area down here at the bottom, and it has taller spike flowers to create the outline shape. The shape is 100% symmetrical. If I drew a line down through the middle, I've got roughly the same flowers on the left and on the right. The position of those flowers might not be perfect, but the outline shape is. So if we look at it from the back, there is a really characteristic traditional triangular shape, and the proportions are 1/3 to 2/3. So we use our container as the third, we double that to create the height in the arrangement, and we get those very basic 1/3, 2/3 proportions. So if you're studying floristry in college, then this would be symmetrical. The stems all radiate away from a center point. If we think of this flower as being the middle, they're all radiating away from the center. I picked the wrong flower. So if we think about this as being the center point, then our stems are all radiating away. And if you think of the rays of the sun, if you think about those old wagon wheels that used to head across the prairie, you think of the center as your middle flower and the spokes radiating away from the center, then that makes a traditional radiating design. So if you're a florist in college, this would come under the symmetrical category. The stem placement is radial, and it would come under the decorative category because it has a clear, visible outline shape similar to a symmetric triangle. Now I'm hoping that I explained that quite well. I've been a florist for, I've just worked it out, I've been a florist for 40 years, so the terminology and the words I'm using come as second nature to me. And if you're struggling to understand exactly the words that I've said, add it to the comment box and I can do a dedicated video on that subject. So we started with something that was quite modern, we finished with something that would definitely be categorized as traditional, and I'm hoping that that's helped you understand the different styles of arrangements a little bit more. So please subscribe, it's very important to grow this channel. Hit that notification bell if you want to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. And thank you as ever for watching me and coming along on this amazing floral journey. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye for now.